I'm done sanitizing. So even though there's some of these bubbles left in here, this sanitizer is meant for brewing, and it actually doesn't impart any bad flavors upon your brew when you're making it. So you see, basically what I'm saying is you can have some residue like that, and it's actually a good thing. Kind of continues to clean, but it will not make your brew taste poorly. And then I'm doing kind of the same thing here. There's some bubbles in there, and then there's probably little remnants inside my fermenter. So basically I'm just going to let this sit until it's time to open it up. I got it sealed so that just the cat doesn't get crap in there, or air particles or whatever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start, basically I'm just going to dissolve this 2-pound bag of brown sugar into one of my gallons. All these gallons are pasteurized already, so essentially I could just pour them right in the fermenter and get going, but I want to be able to dissolve the sugar thoroughly. So I'm going to use 1 gallon to heat it up, dissolve the sugar, and then I'll just put the rest, I'll only do 4 gallons in that barrel, in that fermenter, so that I don't get any overflow. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to save 1 gallon for afterwards, because you'll realize if you taste your cider when you're done fermenting it, it gets really dry and a lot of the apple flavor leaves. And so if you want to get that apple flavor back in there, basically I'm going to keep one of these as flavoring to get that apple flavor back in there, and then some of my other ingredients here. I guess I'll go over those now, but what I'm going to do is when it's done fermenting, I'm going to actually make it stop fermenting. There's still a little bit of potential at the end that it will keep fermenting, especially when I add this new sugar, more cider into it when I'm done. I'll also be sweetening with honey, so if you throw in this honey and this cider, it will start fermenting again. And if you bottle it or keg it, you don't necessarily want it to keep fermenting. It will change the flavors. It will keep it'll get drier and drier possibly. So what I do is then you can get this later on. You don't need this on brewing day, but just so you know, I'll use potassium sorbate, just a half teaspoon per gallon, and it says prevents renewed fermentation when sweetening. So if you're going to back sweeten, is what they call it, when you are going to sweeten it again, this is what you want to do to make sure that it retains that. To get the tartness back in there, we'll taste it when it's done, but we'll taste the tartness. Malic acid is the normal acid that's in fruits when they're kind of not ripe yet, when they're kind of sour. It's the same stuff that's on your sour gummy bears, sour gummy worms, all that. Real tart. You got to be careful with that. I'll tell you how much to add when we're done. Tartaric acid is also very tart, but it's a little smoother than this malic acid. It's not quite as abrasive, I guess you could say. Another thing that I found that seems to really add some nice character is this wine tannins. Now, I know it's wine tannins, but basically this is what is kind of the little bit of bitterness that's in, it's in your red wines. This is what makes your red wines red. It's what's in the skins of fruits. It's the bitterness. So it's kind of looks like cinnamon sort of. It's real fine powder. So that will actually help it taste like actual, like some fresh apple cider, where you get some of the character back into it. Because like I said, this is going to make it real dry, real alcoholic. So we'll begin mixing in my sugar.